Welcome to the Creative Play and Podcast Network. Join us as we share our favorite RPGs, one-shot games, tabletop games, reviews, and convention panels. Sit back and enjoy the show.
Hi, this is Kelly, aka Trixie from Ragnarok and Roll, assigned to Ragnarok Story, and Tilda Wimblewick from D&D Journey of the 5th Edition. First off, I would just like to say thank you to everyone for listening to our varied adventures, as well as for rating us on iTunes and RPGpodcast.com. If you haven't rated us yet, we would greatly appreciate it if you could. And if you're looking for more ways to support our efforts, we are now on Patreon, a great site where you can help us continue making more podcasts, as well as some special surprises for our patrons. If you can, please look us up at www.patreon.com/cppn. Every little bit helps. And again, thank you for listening.
Hey guys, Jim here,
And Kelly.
and welcome back to the next installment of hashtag RPGaDAY2025, August the 16th. And guess what the prompt is, Kelly?
I don't know, actually.
You don't know? Well, it's something you do on a regular basis in gaming is you overcome adversity and challenges.
Overcome could also be you're overcome with emotion.
This is true. I've had games where players have totally just been overcome with emotion because of things to do. You know, it
Mm-hmm.
could also be overcoming fear.
Well, I mean, there have been a number of ones where I was overcome. Both
Remember,
my
keep it
characters were
positive.
just
Keep it
emotionally
positive.
charged. No, remember? Okay, remember when we were doing high seas shenanigans and Mike's
The bosun,
uh, half orc
monk.
monk,
Hmm.
when he had returned Paige to her father and her people and stuff, he got very sad. And then we went to the Festival of Masks, and he got that mask made, that iron mask, and then he stuck it in the fire because he was, you know, sad. And then he took that mask that was burning hot, and in a ritualistic tradition of,
His
he
people.
put the mask on his face.
Hmm.
It was so it was so emotional. It was beautiful. I was overcome, and I mean, it was a really special moment. It was. I mean, it was. I mean, it was, but it was a ritual, and it made it so much more meaningful.
Hmm.
You know,
And he
it
basically
was.
expressed how
I was.
overcome such a stoic character was.
Uh-huh. And I was overcome because my character was one of the characters with him, and I didn't say a word. I just went up and touched my forehead to his forehead, and it was just beautiful. It was just one of those weird, just when you have the roll back and role playing moments, that it just was very special.
Hmm. I mean, that's one thing I love with role playing is when the story overcomes any personal issues or personal fears, and story just happens in the most beautiful of ways.
Yeah, it was moving.
And see, for me, I was gonna go with overcoming the fear to game in public. It's one of the best things ever. You
Oh,
get to
I
see
remember that.
Yeah, when you get to see someone their first time gaming in public and they overcome the fear of looking goofy and silly and gaming with their friends, and it could be 100 people walking by watching, but they're at the game table with their friends, overcome with the inspiration of the story, and they overcome their personal fears of gaming in public. And when you see that happen for somebody, it changes them for the rest of their life. It's like when someone
Yeah, and
overcomes public speaking.
well, there's no overcoming public speaking. It's not for me. I still have fear of it, but I can remember the first time I gamed in public. I was terrified.
Hmm.
I didn't know these people, you know, and coming from a background of when I was young, you know, girls didn't play, and it was partially because, the boys are like, no. But the first time I gamed in public was at Nauticon. Remember you took me to Nauticon?
Yep, yep. The ring con
And
that
because
wasn't.
RingCon wasn't happening, so they had this like small meetup, and they called it Nauticon. And
Hmm.
sure enough, I ran into a friend of mine who I had, and but I for the first time gamed in public and alone. With
Uh huh.
people I had no idea who,
With with
had never met before.
with
And
randos.
I had a blast.
Hmm.
I had a blast.
Yeah, like I will totally name drop. That's why ring con is so great. Is you can make new lifelong friends if you just overcome that hesitation to game in public. You know, I always
Or
recommend bring a
happened to run
friend
into
when you
old ones that
happen to run into the old friends all the time because all of our
I'm
friends are
like,
awesome.
what?
That's one that I always love is when we run into friends that we don't know from gaming who are into gaming, and it's like, so come over to this table,
Yeah.
join in on the
Try
fun.
something
And that's just one that I overcome your fear to game in public because it is totally worth it. I mean, yeah, you might have a stinky game, but more often than not, you will walk away from either a new friend for life because gamers let us overcome those, social qualms, and you might just have a whole new gaming group that you now are part of because we've had quite a few people that just randomly joined in and never left. They became long-term gaming friends and never left campaigns they came to do a one shot with.
Mm-hmm.
And my final option is overcome being afraid to game master or GM a game. More folks don't realize just how not hard it is to GM a game, and the fact that your players will forgive you of flubs. They will not take it personal if you kill them. I mean, they won't take it personal if a fellow player kills them, but they'll look sad, very sad. So
Yeah.
overcome your
But
fears and have great things happen.
I like that.
You like that? Overcome that hesitation and just go out and have fun. And don't be afraid to try new systems. Overcome that hesitation to learn a new game system because you don't want to buy a new system or get involved with it. Try doing quick shots. A lot of them are free and they will teach you the game mechanics that you need to play the game. Because of course, there's so many new games out last year and this year that people got to try.
Yeah.
I still want to get you to play Paranoia because, David and I know what a wacky fest that game is. And we just want to see what you guys will do when you have to obey the machine and kill your friends. If
I
you've
don't
never
like
played,
that type of gaming.
you have to do it because the blinking fluorescent lights told you to. See, that's why Paranoia is one of those games where you don't take it personal when you get murdered because you seem disloyal.
Got them shifty eyes.
Obviously, they were a bad clone of a clone of a clone. So overcome and persevere. That's my thing. And I'll totally take the never trust your fears. They don't know your strength. And that's an overcoming fear quote that someone does not know where it came up from.
I like that.
You like that? Because your fears are a totally different part of your brain than your actual strength. Never trust that voice.
Or what the Mark Twain don't pay a bill before you know if it's even gonna,
Come due. Don't
yeah,
pay that bill twice.
yeah, or something, yeah,
Yeah, fear is paying the check twice. Once before it
yeah.
comes and once when it arrives.
If it arrives at all.
Yeah, you may be working yourself up for something that's not even going to happen.
But it's very hard not, to.
Hey, that
I'm
little
a
voice
warrior.
and fear is there for a reason, but don't let it
Rule you.
overcome that fear, because don't let it control
Oh,
you.
yeah.
Yeah. So is that a good place to wrap it up for RPG a day?
I think so.
Are we going to overcome our need to bring up with more overcoming things? Alrighty, guys. Have a good rest of the weekend, and we'll be back tomorrow for hashtag RPGaDAY 2025.
Thank you for listening to the Creative Play and Podcast Network. If you enjoyed our show, please check out D&D Journey of the 5th Edition and Ragnarok Enroll a Scion Hero to Ragnarok Story. Also, check out our Patreon page for more content and behind-the-scenes things, as well as joining us for a one-shot game or two.